Hi, this is Human Essence, and this is the second part of the deep dive into Wendi Adelson's book, This Is Our Story. Now, I've reviewed this book in the past, but this is more of a deep dive, and this is part 2 of the deep dive. So if you haven't listened to the first one, go ahead and listen to the first 3 chapters where I introduce the characters in the book. So the book is about human trafficking, and it's been brought up in the trial of Charlie Adelson, which occurred in 2023. There's going to be a new trial of Donna Adelson occurring in September of 2024. So we've talked about the 3 characters: Rosa, the young girl from Argentina, Mila, the teenager from Slovakia, and Lily, the lawyer who finds herself in the Florida Panhandle. So in chapter 4, we see Rosa again. It's speaking in the form of a diary. And we learn that Rosa is excited to have been chosen to go to America based on an essay that she had to write about why she wants to go to America to work and study. She writes about her father's passing and writes an essay also for her friend Anna. And she writes about Florida's wildlife, the fauna and flora of Florida, for her friend Anna, because she wants Anna to be able to go on this adventure with her. So we see that because she wrote this essay for her friend Anna, she feels a lot of responsibility later on in the book about what happens to Anna. So there's a conversation in this diary entry about sin. So we get an idea that Rosa is very religious and she's feeling some guilt about having done something dishonest in that she wrote the essay for her friend Anna. So we're understanding that Rosa is able to write that essay to do well, but she feels a certain amount of guilt, but she wants Anna to come with her. But she sort of makes a religious promise that she will make her father, who's passed on, and her mother, who's alive, proud by working hard, studying hard, and doing really well in America. So it's very sad, and there's, when we find out what happens later in the story, the tragedy of this. And once again, the tone of the character of Rosa is when she's religious, she's young, she's wanting to do good, she's studious, she's conscientious. Now, next we see the next character in chapter 5. Mila wanted to become the actress in New York, and she was tired of the life that she was living with her mother. And we see now that Mila is sick of being stuck in Slovakia in the cafe, especially because she knows about other lives. She knows about what she sees in the movie. She sees the Canadians and Americans come into her cafe, so she knows what she's missing. And she has a boyfriend, and she finds him really boring. He's fixing the steps in his house, and she just really, is very tired of him. And while she's there at his house one day, she finds an ad in a newspaper for people who are familiar with Chinese cooking, and they want somebody to work in a restaurant. She's feeling like she knows how to do that, and she can go to America, but she needs to decide within 6 days. So to deal with the problem of telling her mother that she's going on to do something else, she lies to her mother, and she's going to tell her that she's going to New York with the new boyfriend. And actually, that's not where she ends up going at all. So we've got this disconnect between Mila and her mother that's continuing, and that rebelliousness and, fear of missing out, and she's going to say what she needs to say to get there. Chapter 6, we're back hearing about Lily Stone. So Lily is the lawyer who's living in the Florida Panhandle with her husband Josh, who's got student loans that they need to pay off. and she's bored there. Now, Josh is trying to find activities for them to do so she'll kind of like where she's finding herself. And she's trying to convince herself she chose him, she's not a victim, because this is not where she saw herself being. So meanwhile, she takes a new job because she's bored, and the job is for the Immigrants Justice Center. And then she starts to tell some stories about what she encounters at the immigration center. So she's in this office there, and we learn that she speaks fluent Spanish, and we learn that through the eyes of others. Like, oh, they're so amazed that the gringa speaks Spanish. And then she tells some stories. She tells the stories of an LDS gentleman who's trying to help get asylum, or a person from El Salvador who's actually seems to be like maybe he was, in a gang there or something. But the tone once again is this kind of mocking humor, like almost, making fun of the people. So it's once again, oh, you're in on the joke. Look at this from my eyes. So whether you feel that way or not, you could figure it out when you read the book. All right, so that's the chapter 4, 5, and 6 of the book. So we're learning a little more about the characters and how they end up coming together, right? So we have them, Mila and Rosa, very different people coming to America, and Lily just finding herself in the world where she's going to be helping immigrants who are seeking asylum. All right, thanks for listening.